A heart-wrenching discovery shakes the fragile peace in Gaza. Israel has just taken custody of a coffin sent by Hamas, claimed to hold the remains of another innocent hostage who perished in captivity. This somber handover, facilitated by the Red Cross, raises urgent questions about the fate of those still unreturned, and it's a story that tugs at the heartstrings while exposing deep-seated tensions. But here's where it gets controversial. As both sides accuse each other of breaking promises, could this be the tipping point for lasting peace, or just another layer of mistrust? Let's dive into the details and unpack what's really unfolding step by easy step, so even newcomers to this complex conflict can follow along. Israel, through the mediation of the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, has accepted a coffin that the militant group Hamas insists contains the body of one more hostage who tragically lost their life while held in Gaza. The office of Israel's prime minister confirmed that the casket will be transported back to Israeli soil, where advanced DNA testing will verify the identity of the remains. If the tests align with Hamas's claim, this would mark the return of 16 out of the 28 hostages, both Israelis and foreigners, originally seized by the group. To put this in perspective, imagine a hostage situation where families are clinging to hope. Each confirmed return brings closure, but the lingering unknowns can feel like an open wound. This latest development occurred shortly after Israel granted permission for a Hamas representative to enter an area of Gaza under the control of the Israel Defense Forces, IDF. This was done to assist Red Cross workers and an Egyptian technical team in their search for the bodies of the remaining hostages. It's a rare moment of cooperation in a region fraught with division, highlighting how even adversaries can collaborate when human lives are at stake. Yet, Israel has leveled serious accusations, claiming that Hamas is breaching the terms of a ceasefire agreement that began just 2 weeks ago. The deal, brokered by the United States, Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey, aimed to halt hostilities in the region. For beginners, think of a ceasefire as a temporary pause in fighting, like a timeout in a heated argument, meant to allow cooler heads to prevail and foster dialogue. Israel argues that by not releasing all the hostages' remains, Hamas is undermining this fragile truce. Hamas, in response, insists they are fully dedicated to honoring the agreement. However, they emphasize that the ongoing challenges stem from the vast destruction caused by nearly 2 years of conflict. Rubble from bombings and collapsed structures makes it extraordinarily difficult to locate buried bodies, an issue that underscores the devastating toll of war on everyday logistics. As Hamas's chief negotiator, Khalil al-Hayya, explained in a recent statement, the group's efforts are hampered because Israeli military actions have drastically changed the landscape of Gaza. To make this clearer, picture a city after a major earthquake. Landmarks are gone, and even those who know the area well might struggle to find hidden spots. Adding to the complexity, al-Hayya noted that some individuals who originally buried the bodies have since been killed or can no longer recall exact locations due to the passage of time and trauma. Delving deeper into the backstory, the ceasefire went into effect on October 10th, leading to the swift release of all 20 surviving Israeli hostages. In exchange, Israel freed 250 Palestinian prisoners and allowed 1,718 detainees from Gaza to go home. This swap was a glimmer of hope, but it also included a grim exchange. Israel handed over the bodies of 195 Palestinians in return for the remains of 13 Israeli hostages and 2 foreigners, 1 Thai and 1 Nepalese. Still, 12 hostages remain unaccounted for in Gaza, 11 Israelis, along with 1 from Tanzania and another from Thailand. A government spokeswoman, Shash Bedrosian, addressed reporters on Monday, detailing the arrangements. The Red Cross, the Egyptian technical team, and a Hamas representative have been allowed to venture beyond the IDF's designated yellow line in Gaza, all under strict IDF oversight, she stated. This access enables them to search more freely, and she'll bring in additional tools, such as heavy tractor-like vehicles, to aid in excavating the rubble. And this is the part most people miss. The families of the hostages aren't staying silent. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum has issued a passionate call for immediate steps to ensure Hamas fulfills its commitments. They want the Israeli government, the U.S. administration, and international mediators to halt progress on the second phase of U.S. President Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan until every last body is returned. The plan, which aims to rebuild and stabilize the region, represents a potential pathway to long-term stability, but families argue that rushing ahead without resolution would dishonor the missing. But here's where it gets really divisive. Israeli media reports suggest that a security official from the Trump administration is pushing to proceed to the next stage of the plan, even if not all hostages are recovered. On one hand, this could accelerate economic aid and reconstruction in Gaza, benefiting civilians caught in the crossfire. On the other, it might signal that some lives are deemed less important, prioritizing politics over closure for grieving families. Is this a pragmatic step toward peace, or a betrayal of the dead? The debate rages on, and it's worth questioning whether such a move could erode trust and spark further violence. To provide more context, all but one of the deceased hostages still in Gaza were among the 251 individuals abducted during Hamas's brutal attack on southern Israel on October 7, 2023. That horrific event claimed the lives of approximately 1,200 people in a single day, prompting Israel to launch a military operation in Gaza. The health ministry in Gaza, run by Hamas, reports that over 68,500 Palestinians have died in the ensuing conflict, a staggering number that illustrates the immense human cost on both sides. For those new to this, it's like a cycle of tragedy. One act of violence begets retaliation, and the cycle continues unless broken by true reconciliation. As we wrap this up, it's clear that the path to peace is littered with ethical minefields and emotional hurdles. Should international leaders delay the peace plan to honor the hostages' families, or is moving forward the only way to prevent more suffering? And what about Hamas's claims of challenges? Are they genuine obstacles or deliberate delays? We invite you to share your thoughts. Do you see this as a step toward justice or another sign of failed diplomacy? Does the human cost justify halting broader progress? Jump into the comments below with your opinions. We'd love to hear your perspective and foster a thoughtful discussion.